Hi, we're here with Tim Warris of Fast Tracks, of course, and now he's got the Mount Albert line of product. And I'd like to ask him about that in a moment too. Most of the people in our community are using your products, so. And first start off with a compliment I have to tell you is I've been hand laying tracks since I was a young man. That was how we kind of cut our teeth when I was like 16 at a model railroad club, and it just lost popularity. When I come back to the hobby after 15 or 20 years of vacancy, and I come back to the hobby in my early 30s, people were not hand laying tracks.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing your products, and you have absolutely brought that back to popularity at a rate that just astonishes me.
That's good to hear.
I mean, I think everybody should do it, and I've said before, you cannot buy commercially a turnout at the quality of physics and mechanics that you can with your products.
Yeah. It's because you build it yourself. When you build it yourself, you can control the quality of the final
and meet the NMRA specs that no turnout pretty much has ever done, except for the microengineering 0-30 turnouts.
Yeah,
the
only the latest one.
That beat that.
Yeah,
so,
prior to that, we were the only ones that had NMRA specifications for turnouts.
Yeah, and the growth, I mean, I'd imagine, and I can hear from you, I guess the growth has to be fairly high.
Yeah, it is. Year over year, it's been growing. Last year, and it's been our 15th year. This is our 15th year doing this, and last year was the best sales we've ever had.
Of course.
So it's still growing.
When I see that all in the hobby press, people rave about your products. The moment somebody is willing to give it a go and realize that it's not as hard as though when I learned the head lay track, it was spikes on a piece of 1x, and it was challenging.
Yeah.
And this just makes it entirely doable. If you could lay flex track, you can build these things.
That's what we tell people. If you can build a kit, if you have those basic skills, you can do this.
Absolutely. And basic soldering skills that are a critical skill that you need as a modeler anyway.
Yeah, it's a good crossover. And it's fun to do. That's, I think, the reason it's been so popular is that people just enjoy doing it.
I love
and you never run
track.
out of track.
Right. And you get something you can't get commercially. There's a thing that happens with prototype track that there's a flow to it that you cannot get using commercial track because you're using a couple puzzle pieces fit together. You're stuck with that geometry. Yeah. Whereas with your products, you can cut and shave components to make it fit.
I mean, you can make the turnout as long as you want.
Yeah.
So you got a turnout, you can make a foot long on either end. So it'll flow right in.
And build yard ladders as one big piece, so it's built cohesive. So with the Mount Albert lines of products, I've used their products for years, and I had a bunch of Mount Albert's ties from like 20 years ago, still in a box of model railroad stuff. And when I come back to the hobby, I bought another bag of his ties recently, and they're exactly the same size perfectly.
Yeah, they should be, because of the way those machines run.
Oh, I'm fascinated with the way he did that. And he did an interview prior to your all's business arrangement that you've worked out now, that where he and Miles interviewed him. Miles Hill interviewed him, and he showed the machines he was using. And it's like a peek into how NASA does stuff.
Yeah.
It's so intelligent what he's done.
Those machines are precise. They can hold tolerance. Like when we cut the wood to thickness, we type it in on the screen to 3 decimal places, and it cuts it to 3 decimal places of accuracy.
Super happy that this business arrangement worked between you. And I recently interviewed him on my show, on my Fine Scale show, about lighting, because that's his background in theater lighting. And I'm a technical-minded person, so I'm fascinated by understanding the frequencies and such of light that he had talked about. What I'm really excited about is now that he's come on with you guys, the life expectancy of the Mount Albert product line is quite high. And we're seeing people drop out of the hobby all the time.
Yeah.
The small manufacturers of cottage industries.
Yeah, they're retiring.
Right.
And that's basically what the timing with Jerry was. It was kind of over a beer and a handshake. It was an impulse buy for us.
It's kind of the best arrangements, though, is a gentleman's arrangement like that. But you're preserving something.
Jerry and I have known each other for years, so
of course.
We get along.
But it's a natural connection between you guys, too. It doesn't seem like it would be, but it is. There's a natural correlation between people who will hand lay.
Jerry still works with us quite a bit.
Right.
Like he's down one day a week, and we're working on the new kits. So.
Right. Well, that's something, too. I'm really excited about seeing him have the free time to pursue the kids, because what he's done, although a lot of it's at O-scale, even those of us at HO, his kids are stellar. I mean, just absolutely spectacular. But he didn't have the free time to pursue that avenue that you'll now free him up for. So,
and he's as excited about it too.
Right. Yeah, he seemed really like when I talked to him. So a lot of that future is looking forward to the things that he'll now be able to put his mental aptitude toward.
Yeah, and the next kit's going to be coming out probably in another month. We're hoping to have it at the Narrow Gauge Convention in Minneapolis.
Great.
So which is this one. that's just a sample of some of the parts that come with the kit. It's going to be the Last Resort Chair Company.
Very cool.
O-scale. Pretty innovative design on this kit. A lot of things that we've done that nobody's done before. And it's a beautiful looking building. And it comes with all the lawn furniture as part of the kit.
That's awesome.
Which we're going to sell separately as well.
I looked at those just a moment ago when I walked up. They're spectacular. But this is a kind of neat contraption that you've got too. That is not exactly a bottling kit, but something that we all need. That's a new product for you.
This is a new product. This is the official releases at the show here. And, Jerry cleverly named it the lumber store. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
And it's just a rotating rack to store your lumber in. So. It's always nice when you're going to work, when you're working on a project, you got a little bit of every size wood on hand.
Absolutely.
And that was the concept behind this.
Oh, it'd be able to pull the little tubes out, take it to the workbench, or pull up out of the floor where mine sits.
Yeah.
And we built these things out of PVC pipe, or I built mine out of cardboard storage tubes, and they look awful, and they don't hold up very well. But that's what we've all had to do for years as a way to store scale lumber and keep it some semblance of order. This makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it's just it's a laser cut kit. So you get all the parts, the Lazy Susan and everything is in there. We machine the base out of a heavy piece of shelf material on our CNC router.
Nice.
And we're going to sell it. You can buy just the rack empty with the tubes to store in it whatever you want, or we sell it fully loaded. And this is the HO scale. Loaded with 1x2s up to 4x12s.
Wow.
And then there's another one with 6x6s up to 12x24.
But you just never have enough material on hand. You're always missing this particular size.
Yeah.
So buying a big stock of inventory is just a smart purchase anyway.
And I've always been a fan of a good collection of stuff. I love buying the little box that have all the screws in it. So
Absolutely.
you have the one you want when you want it.
Yep.
And that's the idea behind this. So you don't run out.
So do you guys, I guess you have a few ideas in the back of your mind for tools and stuff. Are you going to start moving towards some of this? So I know like the little paint racks, and there's a lot of little small wood storage things that have just been lacking in the hobby.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people doing those. This wasn't out there.
No, it's not.
And that's why we need something that we can do that.
I still see various avenues where having a CNC and a laser will give you a lot of room to make some of the custom things that can make our workbenches not as awful as our workbenches have historically been.
I always tell people that these tools are great. The only limitation they have is your imagination.
Yeah.
As long as you can come up with
well, the CNC cutters, and I recently bought a small hobby CNC cutter as well, and the laser cutters, and that technology coming down into the mainstream has just opened the door for cottage industries in our hobby.
And especially the 3D printers. I mean, it's amazing what these guys are doing with that.
Absolutely.
That's the one tool I don't have. Not yet. Anyway.
Well, it's just getting to the point where it's really compelling. At the moment, a lot of the detail parts you've had to go to Shapeways for.
Yeah, there are some out there that can do some. But you gotta have the right one.
Yeah, the resin printing, resin forming, I think is probably the one that's getting in the sub $4,000 market. I'm fascinated by that though. The range of products you have, of course, the Fast Tracks fixtures for building turnouts. I think it's just a great compliment to the hobby that you guys are doing this, and I'm ecstatic to have had a chance to talk to you about it. But all the other things you can do now with Jerry and the kits, we always need more of that in the hobby.
Yeah, we're buying more machinery. We just bought a nice 4-axis CNC milling machining center.
Very, very nice.
Getting that set up right now as we speak. So that's going to really open up some possibilities.
That's it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And the fascination is really, and I've even heard this recently, Elon Musk of Tesla fame and all that, he says the real interest and the real fascination is the machine that builds the machine.
Yeah.
That's where the interest needs to go. Because building the machine is not necessarily that hard, but building the machine that builds the machine, that makes it possible, is where our future needs to be focused on. So, well, thank you so much, Tim. I appreciate the chance to talk to you.
Thanks for dropping by. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.